Congratulations, you just woken up in the year 1853. The good news, you're alive. The bad news, you're a toothworm extractor in a time when dentistry is more like medieval torture. Your bed is a thin mattress stuffed with straw that feels like a bed of needles. You blink awake as the distant sound of a horse-drawn carriage rattles the windows. It's like the medieval plague, but with teeth. Your home is a small, poorly lit office with a single chair and a few primitive tools scattered around. The walls are lined with shelves of old, rusted instruments that make your stomach churn. You sit up, groaning as your back cracks. The room smells of old blood and something worse. It's like someone took all the worst smells in the world and mixed them into a single, pungent aroma. Your clothes are an old, dingy frock coat and a pair of worn trousers that feel like they've been through the ringer. You rub your eyes, trying to clear the fog, but your vision is still blurry. The light is so dim it feels like the room is shrouded in a perpetual dusk. You wonder if you'll ever be able to see the tools properly, let alone use them. You stand up, feeling the cold wooden floor beneath your bare feet. It's like stepping onto a block of ice that never thaws. You shiver and wrap your arms around yourself. The room is eerily quiet, except for the occasional creak of an old chair. You hear a distant, high-pitched scream. It's the sound of someone in agony, and you know it's because of you. You're about to begin another day of extracting toothworms, a practice that would be laughed at today, but was deadly serious then. You walk to the window, the cold seeping through the thin cloth of your trousers. You look out into the street below, where horse-drawn carriages and people in old-fashioned clothes are going about their business. It's like stepping into a time machine. But here's what nobody expected. You're a toothworm extractor in 1800s America, a time when dentistry was more art than science. Your tools are crude, and your methods are archaic, but it's what people expect. You're like the Uber of medieval tooth extraction, except instead of GPS, you rely on your own shaky sense of direction. But here's the thing. You're about to see a patient who thinks they have a toothworm, a mythical creature believed to be causing the pain and decay in their teeth. It's the 1800s equivalent of a brain tumor in a horror movie, only it's your job to remove it. You're about to plunge into a world where reality and superstition are as entangled as your patient's infected gums. The patient is a middle-aged farmer, his face etched with pain and desperation. He is the type of person who has endured the worst of life as hardships. But this toothworm seems to be the straw that broke the camel's back. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, the patient's wife and children follow him in, their faces filled with fear and worry. The room suddenly feels smaller, darker. The air is thick with the smell of sweat, blood, and fear. You're about to perform a procedure that is as much a mystery to you as it is to them. You look over your tools, the most menacing being a long, sharp needle that looks more like a torture device than a medical instrument. You're about to use it to extract the supposed toothworm, but you know the truth. There is no such thing as a toothworm. You're about to perform a ritual that will either bring relief or terror. You'd think that with the primitive nature of your tools, the worst you could do is cause more pain. Maybe you'll just make it worse, turning a minor toothache into a full-blown infection. Actually, it's worse. The truth is, you're about to do something that could change everything about how people view their teeth and your profession. The year is 1800, and the world is about to witness a moment that will shake the foundations of dental care. You're about to witness the birth of a new era, but it won't be one of relief and healing. It will be a time of blood, pain, and the realization that not everything can be fixed with a needle and some superstition. And that's when everything changes. You're about to prove to yourself and your patient that the toothworm isn't real, but the pain is very real. The question is, are you ready to face the consequences of your actions? You just finished your morning tooth extraction session, your hands sticky with blood and pus. The room smells like a mix of iron and rotting teeth, and you feel a little lightheaded. You're about to take a swig of whiskey from a small flask when suddenly, your hand stops mid-air. You pause, looking around the room, wondering why everything feels. The walls are covered in posters of toothy grins, some cracked, others missing chunks. It's like staring at a crime scene. You shake your head, trying to clear it. Maybe it's just the alcohol talking. But here's the thing. You notice something odd. The tooth on the poster has a strange, almost ghoulish expression, as if it's trying to tell you something. You blink, confused. You think it was just another tooth, maybe a bit more detailed. Maybe it was a joke. Actually, it's something entirely different. You flip the poster over, your heart racing. There's writing in the corner in a language you don't recognize. It's like finding a secret code in a horror movie. You feel a chill down your spine. But here's the thing. You start to notice other oddities around the room. The tools you use for extraction are arranged in a pattern that seems... It's like someone's been watching you. You'd think it was just your imagination. Maybe it's just the stress talking. Actually, you can't shake the feeling that something else is at play. Suddenly, the door creaks open. A figure steps inside, dressed in dark clothing with a hood pulled up, obscuring their face. The room falls silent. You feel your breath catch in your throat. You'd think it was just another patient. Maybe it's someone you know. Actually, you have no idea who it is. But here's the thing. The room is silent. Your heart is pounding in your chest. You're about to find out exactly who or what you're dealing with. And that's all before the real mystery begins. You're sitting there, your eyes wide, as the candlelight flickers off the object in the hand of the figure. The next thing you know, you're back in the 1800s, and the room is spinning with the realization of what just happened. The figure was holding a tiny, dull metal hook, no bigger than your pinky nail. But here's the thing. That wasn't the worst part. You're about to get your tooth extracted, and everything changes when the Toothworm Extractor offers you a swig of something that looks suspiciously like cheap moonshine. You take a sip, and your eyes water. But here's what nobody expected. The concoction was supposed to dull the pain. Instead, it just made the taste of alcohol even more intense. But then, just when you thought it couldn't get worse, you feel a sharp pinch on your gums. It's like the worst paper cut ever, and it's right where the tooth is. You blink, trying to focus through the haze of the drink, and you see the Toothworm Extractor's eyes gleam as they pull out a small, rusty hook. You'd think it was just to wiggle the tooth loose. Maybe it was to scrape away some of the rot. Actually, it was neither. The hook is not for the tooth at all. It's for something else entirely. And that's when the real horror sets in. You'd think it was a minor scrape or a nick. Maybe it was a simple incision. Actually, it was a full-blown operation. The Toothworm Extractor was looking for something you never knew existed, deep within your gums and bone. But here's the twist, the most shocking detail of all. The Toothworm Extractors weren't just searching for worms. They were looking for something far more sinister. And that's all before the extraction is even complete. Your mouth is already bleeding, the taste of metal filling your senses. You're about to find out what really lies beneath your teeth. But you won't know until the next candle flickers to life. You wake up to the sound of someone hacking up a lung next door. The air is thick with the stench of sickness and death, but you've gotten used to it. Today, you're scheduled for an extraction. The barber surgeon, who looks like he should be chopping wood, is about to perform a tooth extraction on the village blacksmith. But here's the thing. You've noticed a pattern in the barber's work. Every tooth he pulls seems to come out cleaner and healthier than the last. It's like he's fishing out pristine, gleaming teeth instead of the rotting ones you can see in his patient's mouth. You wonder what's in the vial. Is it some kind of magical tooth elixir? Or maybe just more blood? But here's the thing. The barber surgeon starts to explain, his voice barely above a whisper. It's something he's been experimenting with for months. Something that's been changing the game, but nobody knows about it yet. It's a secret ingredient that has the whole town buzzing with whispers and rumors. You can't help but lean in, your curiosity piqued. You ask him what it is, but he just smiles and says, it's a little surprise for our patient. You're about to press him further when he suddenly pulls out another tool, this one looking even more sinister than the last. But here's the thing. You notice something unusual about this tool. It's not a pick or a hook, but a long, thin needle. You've never seen anything like it in his toolkit before. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, the barber surgeon winks at you and says, let's get started. You're about to witness something that's going to change everything you thought you knew about tooth extraction. You brace yourself for the worst, but something tells you it's going to be even stranger than that. You can feel the sweat forming on your brow as the barber surgeon prepares to plunge the needle into the blacksmith's jaw. But here's the thing. Just as he's about to begin, the blacksmith starts to laugh. It's a nervous but hopeful laugh. You can't help but wonder what's coming next. You're on the edge of your seat, holding your breath. The room is silent, save for the crackling of the fire and the sound of your own heart pounding in your chest. The barber surgeon looks at you one last time, and then he nods. It's like a signal, a moment of clarity. But here's the thing. Everything changes when he starts to whisper something to the patient. Something that you've never heard before. Something that makes you lean in even closer. You're about to find out what the barber surgeon has been up to. But just as the words start to come out, the candle goes out. You're about to learn the truth. But just as the barber surgeon's voice grows louder, a sudden gust of wind blows out the candle. The darkness is overwhelming, and you can't see a thing. The whispers continue, but they're lost in the darkness. The only sound is the wind outside and the beating of your own heart. You're about to uncover the truth, but the candle's gone, and with it, your chance to see what happens next. You're about to uncover the truth, but the candle's gone, and with it, your chance to see what happens next. The darkness swallows the room, and you're left in the quiet of the night. Your mind wanders, and you find yourself thinking about those toothworm extractors from decades past. You imagine them, hunched over their patients, candles flickering, their eyes darting around the dimly lit rooms. The quiet darkness envelopes you, just like it did those extractors, but in your world, it's a luxury. You can hear the soft ticking of a clock and the distant hum of a car driving by. It's like a dream within a dream, and you're starting to wonder if this whole journey was a dream. But here's what nobody expected. As you drift further into the night, you realize that the toothworms weren't just a myth. The extractors, despite their misguided methods, were actually part of a long chain of medical practices, each one building on the last, leading to the sophisticated dentistry we have today. You think about how far we've come, but also how close we still are to those early days. The toothworm extractors might seem like relics of a bygone era, but their struggle to understand the human body is something we still grapple with today. The quiet of the night is almost too much. It's as if the world is holding its breath, waiting to see what happens next. And then, the candle goes out. The darkness is complete. You're left with just your thoughts and the memory of that candle's flicker, a symbol of hope and of the darkness that followed. And perhaps that's the strangest part. Not that they lived this way, but that we forgot they ever did. We look at our advanced technology and our knowledge, and we think we're so far removed from those early days. We're just a few flickers of the candle away from where they stood, try to understand the mysteries of the human body. You're about to wake up, the dream fading like the candlelight. But the memory of those toothworm extractors and the journey you've taken through the night stays with you. It's a secret that you've uncovered, a piece of history that was hidden in plain sight. And as you lay there, about to open your eyes, you can't help but wonder, what secrets are we overlooking in our own time? What will future generations think of us and the candle flame knowledge we're trying to understand? You're about to wake up, the dream over, but the questions remain.